I mean, sometimes when he says acting stupid, I'm like, yeah, I have made a lot of dumb fucking decisions. You know, decisions that in the moment I thought, this is smart. This is the right decision. I can't be the only one that's out there that feels that way. Have you ever been in a situation, or, you know, you're just going through life and you're making regular, what you think are everyday choices, and say somebody chimes in and says, you know, I don't think this is right. I don't think this is the way you should be doing it. Or maybe you should make a different choice. I mean, you have to have been in that circumstance before. I have. I've had damn near an intervention from friends where I was like, the fuck? How you gonna tell me who to date? I swear that makes you like almost more where you like, you want to do that more, right? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just because I'm stubborn and or petty, but I'm like, wait, I'm in charge of me, right? And I strongly encourage everybody to make your own decisions, right? We talk about this like in regards to the 3 F's, like unless I let you fuck me, feed me, finance me, and I mean let you do all 3, your opinion doesn't have any sort of fucking influence on my life, right? But sometimes you have friends or friends are contacting you and they're like, I don't know, Liz. I don't know if that's the right call today or for a span of time, right? I want to talk about a particular circumstance, and it mainly because this person was on our show, right? They were on the Sweet and Savage podcast. Actually, 2 people were. And one of them, I mean, I was super close with this person, and basically we're not friends anymore, right? Like, you want the fucking tea, I'm going to tell you. And I don't have to protect anybody's feelings because they're in my story, right? They played a role in my life and in my story. And it's one of those things that I just want to be like, what the fuck? So, you know, we had the lovely Adriana, and I'd be like, oh, I love her name. It's so beautiful. She goes by Anna, whatever. But so we've been super close. We were super close for a while. And no scissor. Okay. Now we have absolutely no relationship of any kind. None. I don't even know at what point she deleted me and or blocked me. It just happened. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird. Because sometimes people have to back away from situations when they don't like what they were told. And I told Anna exactly what I fucking thought. And here's why. So there we also had another guest on our show. You'll know him as Britches Before Bitches. I'm pretty sure that's his TikTok name. I don't know. I don't think I follow anymore. I think he blocked me or deleted me. I don't give a fuck. Okay. Look, I'll follow you right back if you support me on TikTok Live and you're following me. I'm going to send you back some support, right? I'll support you any way I fucking can that, you know, I'll support you any way I can that I'm comfortable with. And I found Gary, Britches Before Bitches, on TikTok, and he's so funny. Thought he was so hilarious. And yes, just like me, he's redoing content that other people shared. Our mutual person that we have in common is Adriana, and she would be one who would, you know, just send you all sorts of content and be like, you should do this. She would send me content and say, I told Gary to do this. You know, Gary and Anna, super, super close, right? They talked all the time. They were super good friends. Gary would talk to her daughter and so on. She knew all the inner workings of like his life, his past relationships, etc. Male, female, right? We've talked about in different episodes, we've talked about, can different genders be friends? The jury is still out on that in some circumstances. In some ways, I feel like you could draw a healthy boundary. Maybe. All the parameters and all of the guidelines would have to be there. And it would depend, right? Because we got some people who are like upside down pineapple couples. You got some people who step outside the relationship, and that is part of their relationship. So I think in those types of relationships, you know, they're probably more comfortable with friendships of the opposite gender. Or maybe they're not. Maybe because they do the pineapple thing and they have those encounters, maybe they are like, nope, I know you want to fuck, so I don't want you to be friends. That's not me, so I can't really truly speak to that. What I do know is when it came to Anna and Gary, it was something. Maybe it still is, I don't know. You've got 2 people who live in 2 completely different states. Anna actually lives closer to me now, and we've got Gary way down in fucking Texas. And you've got these 2 people who have never met in real life, who are friends with each other, who are supporting each other through all the ups and downs. Now, I believe any really good relationship has a best friendship as a base. Maybe you didn't start off that way, but at some point in time, you should become best friends. I believe that you choose to love your person. That friendship ultimately is the core of it. Now you've got Anna and Gary, and They're just super besties. I remember finding out that Gary got a girlfriend shortly before recording an episode with him, and he was always a very fun time as far as the vibe goes. Here's a dude who lives way far from me in Texas, had nothing sort of romantically in between us at all. We just liked each other's content. It was definitely what I would call savage, you know? And I was like, this is hilarious. I don't give any fucks that he's a dick slinger. It doesn't do it for me like that. It's not my cup of tea, but you know, the content was funny. I definitely like getting different opinions. I like getting, especially the male perspective, right? Just because I want to pick your brain and know your thoughts because you had a much different life than mine doesn't mean I want to take off my pants for you. So when we talk about can the male and females be platonic friends, like sometimes it's a little bit difficult for me because I give zero fucks about these people as far as that goes. I'm not trying to fucking have anything to do with that. I just want to be able to get that perspective and that opinion. And you know, he went through some shit, and he was a great guest on the show, even from so far away. And this is why I definitely encourage people, if this is something you're interested in doing, if you want to talk to me more about it, maybe you just want to join in for like a 15-minute segment. It is super easy to do. We can do it even if you're in Texas. Not a fucking problem, right? Anyway, back to the story time. So I'm getting ready to do an episode with Britches, and I find out he's got a girlfriend. Anna tells me about it, and she's almost like jealous, you know? When you look back on things now, you start to piece things together, and it's like, you're like, isn't that interesting? Well, this girl is blonde, beautiful. I don't know a good word to describe her, but when you watch her content, like she's funny and she's entertaining, and you want to watch more of it. And having deep conversations with this person, I'm speaking to this, she's really fucking smart, and she's thoughtful, and she's considerate, and Gary fucking scored the bag with her, okay? So, like I said before, I'm not tailoring things for anybody, right? I don't edit the show for content, and I'm not about to give anybody aliases because you're worried about how it would be on my show, or you're worried about the perspective. You played this role in my life, that is your responsibility, and I am able to share the story. Knew I had a fucking microphone before, and you still acted a fool. That's dumb on anyone's part, okay? But if somebody comes to me and they're like, did you say that? I'm not one who's gonna shirk away and be like, oh my God, we're gonna have conflict. Yeah, bitch, I said it. I'll say it again. Did you need me to say it louder? Or how about this? I can just go ahead and press record so that you can listen to it over and over again. What you did was foul. Just foul. When I have an opinion on something, I don't see anything wrong with me saying it, right? Like there's a lot of circumstances in life where you have to be tactful and you have to read the room, you have to read the situation, right? And in 9 times out of 10, you need to play chess when other people are playing checkers. But I have no problem sharing my opinion. And you have Anna and Gary, who were BFS, right? They're talking for 4, 5, 6 hours a day. Yeah, you heard me. Gary has a female girlfriend, right? And, he's all lovey-dovey with her. They're all driving to see each other all the fucking time. Long drives, too, might I add. Spending weekends, knowing all the ins and outs of each other. Ooh, that sounded dirty. But, there's that too. They're making TikToks for each other, social media posts, etc. And they are openly, publicly sharing this life. Meanwhile, Jordan doesn't know that Gary is like spending all of this time with Anna. He's blowing her off, lying about his location, turning his location off at times, and spending all of this time talking to Anna about, his feelings. He's calling her after his day at work. He's venting to her about his girlfriend. Whoa. Just put the brakes on that for me. And he's just doing all of these things with a different female while he is having this serious relationship. And the two, in my opinion, he wanted to keep Anna on the burner because it was good for his ego. It was good for her to say, oh, you look good. This is funny. Oh, fuck that girl. Whatever. Do your own thing. It was like, bro, Anna, you got a crush on him. You got a crush on him, and you are not acting like a girl's girl. You're not acting like a people's person, for fuck's sakes. Like, if it was the other gender, that's why I get sometimes tied up with the girl's girl thing. It's like, just treat people fucking right. How would you feel? And, at a certain point, I'm hearing all of these things from both sides, right? I'm hearing things from Gary. I'm hearing things from Anna. I'm becoming friends with Gary's girlfriend, Jordan, just the bubbly, beautiful blonde girl from Texas. And she's like hurting. She's hurting because she's in love with this man, and she's giving him the commitment. She's giving him the life. She's wanting to be there in all aspects for him, and he can't fully commit to her. And I'm like, you know what? Wait a minute. Just wait a minute. They break up. They're on again, off again for a minute. He wants to like snap her and text her and tell Anna that he's not, mind you. Tell Anna that Jordan is like harassing him. He made statements saying that Jordan was posting stuff on TikTok that he didn't want her to. Meanwhile, his responses to his girlfriend said differently. I have a problem with this simply for the fact that I let him be on my show. I let him be on my show as we talked about men's mental health and how men need to be told that someone is proud of them. We discussed valuing your partner. We discussed how some people have very conservative, old school like values when it comes to a relationship. And he painted a picture of himself that was different than he was actually behaving. And like I said, I make no apologies whatsoever for the role people played in my life, in my story. This is my fucking story. These are the things that I have experienced and gone through. And if you played a part in it and you were fucking shitty, that's on you that other people find out, right? And I don't have to be sorry that you acted inappropriately. Just like other people don't have to be sorry that I fucking acted inappropriately at times. Like, man, sometimes I'm a dick. That's just the way it is. Hell, if one of these people heard this episode, they could be like, fuck, she came for me. No, bro, I don't give a fuck enough to come for you. Not even slightly. I'm just stating what happened, and these are the facts. And Jordan was a casualty of their shittiness. That was not fucking right to do that to someone. And when you want to be like, oh, this hurts me, and this ex did this to me, and I have trauma, sound like a little bitch when you're then treating someone shitty, right? Do not bleed on those that didn't cut you. That's not the way we do it. We're supposed to do better for other people than was done to us. And there's other things that bother me about this situation, but it really fucking sucks that I had him on my show and I believed a certain thing about their personalities, right? I basically had a conversation with Adriana and was like, I love you. I care about you. I love your family. I don't want this to affect our relationship. However, I have to be honest. And I had to say, look, he is getting his cake and he's eating it too. However that expression goes, it's like he's getting the emotional side of a relationship from Anna and was getting other aspects from Jordan. And it's like, that's fucked up. That is fucked up to do to a person. That's fucked up to do to Anna. I told her this. I'm like, look, I think this is hindering you from getting in a different relationship with somebody else, from being able to commit to it. When you're contacting him before, after, during, etc., of all of these different people, you're putting weight on his opinion. You are considering how he thinks of this person when you've never even met him in real life. You've never met in person. And I'm not saying you can't be close with people that you met on the internet. Like, rest assured, if you know two fucking things about me, you know that I can do that. I mean, I've had Samantha, aka TikTok Mouse, on my sobriety show, and I want her on the regular show. She's a fucking bomb. I need to go see her in real life, or I need to get her ass down here. Either way you slice it, like, she's legit. So I'm not saying that that's not possible. What I'm saying, though, is she was giving weight to Gary's opinion on her different, dating encounters, and I believe it was hindering her, and I told her this. And some might say that's where I went wrong, right? And that's why I got blocked real quickly or unfriended or whatever, because it's all handled on social media. Here's the thing. I really value her as a person, and I care about her as a person still to this day. And I think that her crush, her feelings for this person, were misguided. And I think she didn't see the full picture. And I think it can be hard to see the full picture when you're in something, right? Well, trying to tell that to a person, it's like they're a horse with blinders, and they're like, they want to see what they want to see. And not to say that there isn't a chance for Gary to someday be different and treat women better, but he was doing her a huge disservice. And, he was tying up her and her life as if they were in an emotional relationship, because like we all have a relationship with everybody that we encounter, right? Whether it's the grocery store checker or whatever, that exchange is a relationship. And when I say Jordan was a casualty of this, I absolutely mean it, because she was placing her heart in the hands of somebody who wasn't giving her that emotional support at all. He wasn't giving her emotional commitment. He wasn't giving her a fucking chance to be that support for her. right? He couldn't draw a healthy boundary and say, look, okay, I've got Anna, this friend here, but I'm trying to learn and grow with Jordan and get to know her better. That is so fucking shitty to do. I can't stress this enough. You need to, when you get into a partnership with someone, you need to value them, right? And if you have to hurt other people's feelings to value them, then fuck all those other people's feelings, right? I'm gonna hurt those feelings. I don't give a fuck. There is no way. I will be right back after a short break. The Sweet and Savage podcast is proudly supported by Native Blend Clothing, a brand developed to create a stronger focus on the importance of mental health as well as physical health. One of our favorite shirts of theirs says, "Be bold, be proud, be you." We surely do thank them for the continued support. And along with that, I want to remind you guys that we have our spooky season merch out on the website. That's nativeblendclothing.com/sweet and savage. And if you are a Patreon subscriber, if you're in that VIP Savage family group, that means you are eligible for a much greater discount. So make sure, go subscribe. It's absolutely worth the savings. Get that subscription. And if you haven't already made your purchase, send me a message so you can get that promo code. Spooky season is fucking here, my friends, and you do not want to miss out on that Savage merch. But back to the story, okay? I am not sure to this day, is the blame entirely on britches before bitches? Is it on Gary? Because, Anna, when I say like she wasn't a girl's girl or a person's person, like she knew, she acted to Jordan like they were buddies. She acted to Jordan like she cared for her best interests. Meanwhile, she would block her from things and edit things. She unfriended her from things and then lied about it. You know what? Like I've had people that were my friend and then I unfriended them and then they reach out and ask me and I'm like, yeah, I unfriended you. Like I added you when I was drunk and I didn't remember who you were, right? Like I will fucking own it. I'll own it if I unfriended you because I didn't want to be your friend. And unless Anna heard this episode, I bet she wouldn't own up to unfriending me the way she did. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. I mean, like that time I got married. Either way you slice it, she wasn't a girl's girl. She wasn't a person's person. And she was self-serving. She liked the conversation with Gary. She didn't want that to go away. She liked the friendship. Maybe she considered there to be potential, even though they're long distance. I'm not sure. Either way, she didn't want to say, hey, look, you should focus on your relationship. Because if she fucking did, if she truly cared for him as a person and a friend, and she wanted him to have that loving relationship that he was in, she would have said, bro, you spending 5 hours a day talking to me, venting about every problem under the sun, including the girlfriend, is inappropriate. And then she wouldn't have lied to Jordan. She wouldn't have lied to him about locations and whereabouts and their conversations. That's not how it works. Not even at all. Not even slightly. Rest assured, if I had a spouse who was going to go and spend those many hours talking to a different woman, I don't give a fuck if they knew her before me. Don't come to my house to talk how you got a work wife. You said, what? You have a work wife? The fuck if you do, right? You can have one and that is me. That is all. I'm not saying the friendship thing is totally off the table. That, like I said, would very much depend. There's a lot of parameters, I feel. And as somebody who's talked about this with a lot of individuals, I've had lots of people come to me, put out that little Lucy sign, and lots of people discuss it. In some situations, I think it might be okay. Oftentimes, I'm proven wrong, even when I think it could be okay. I mean, let's be honest. I just had the other day somebody add me to Facebook, and I realized, like, oh, they have my spouse as a mutual friend. And so I'm like, I have no idea who this fucking dude is. No idea whatsoever. I'm like, hey, bro, you know who this person is? He's like, yeah, I went to school with him. Oh, okay. Like, what's he adding me for? Like, what's he want to be a friend for? Did he add my husband? No, he didn't. And when my husband said, hey, you know my wife? He said, no. And he's like, what's wrong with me adding her as a friend? Here's the thing, bro. I don't want to be your fucking friend, right? I don't know a thing about you. I feel like automatically it just gives shitty motives, right? I've gotten all kinds of friend requests. And look, I've sent friend requests. Hell, I've been to so many fucking schools, 17 of them to be exact, some of them more than once, that I have sent friend requests to people that I'm like, I don't even know if they remember me, but I remember they were nice to me, right? And so that might seem weird. Somebody could be like, who the fuck is this girl? She was here for 4 months. That's okay. My feelings aren't hurt. No ounce of my feelings are wrapped up in that. But other people really get bent about it. And I get the creepy vibes when it's a bunch of random dudes because I'm like, we don't know each other. Like, I don't want to share child pictures and have you be able to have access to that, because I don't fucking know you. And you know what? I don't want my significant other adding all sorts of other random women. I don't want my significant other commenting on all their bikini shots or whatever, their workout videos or what. I just don't. Like, that's uncomfy for me. I want you to put your energy into me. I would want my significant other to give me that. Like, everybody's got the grass is greener syndrome for sure. Like, oh, don't look at that girl who looks like she never eats. Whatever. You can have that all day long. I don't want to have my spouse commenting on other women's stuff. That's uncomfy. I can't fucking imagine if he was spending 4 and 5 hours every fucking day talking to a different woman, calling her on the way to work, calling her on the way home. No, bitch, you should call me. Like, I don't care if I'm at the house waiting for you or not. You should call me. You should want to. And I feel so strongly about this that if you have to tell a person how to love you, they are not your person. If you have to tell your people how to treat you, how to care for you, they are not your fucking people. It is that simple. So if Jordan has to speak to Gary and say, this bothers me, we're already like, I see this in the negative. We're already just, you shouldn't have to do that. She is worth so much fucking more than having to tell somebody how to love her. And everybody listening is as well. We are all. We shouldn't have to tell somebody how to treat us. We shouldn't have to tell somebody how to love us. And we most certainly shouldn't have to tell them how not to hurt us. You know, there's a story, I don't know if I've talked about it on a TikTok live or in an episode before, but there's a story about a guy and the 8-cow wife. I think the guy's name was Johnny. There's a village, and I'm just going to give you the abbreviated version. So Johnny goes to this village, and all these women are sold to husbands for like 1 cow. 2 cows. If you're super beautiful, 3 cows, right? These women are completely sold only on their looks alone. This dude, Johnny, he goes there. He wants to marry this woman in particular, and he just outwardly paid 8 cows. Now, that put everybody in just a tizzy. They're just like, what? Like, Sarita is an 8-cow wife. Years later, Johnny gets interviewed. Johnny, why did you pay 8 cows for her? And he said, I wanted an 8-cow wife. And I think there's so many valuable lessons to be learned from this, because he said, look at her. Now, the person that had originally been described in the earlier story was kind of homely, not very like outwardly by societal standards attractive. But the person that guy interviewing saw that day was glowing. Just fucking glowing, as if she was some goddess or queen or whatever. Choose your adjective. Glowing. He said, I wanted an 8-cow wife. I didn't want a woman who thought she was only worth 1 cow. I didn't want a woman that when she was around others was like, oh, I'm a 2-cow. He said, I did not want that. He said, I wanted a woman who looked and acted like an 8-cow wife. He said, so I got one. Like I said, so many lessons to be learned in this. There's so many things you could say, and you could pick it apart as far as like appearance alone goes. But if you're not building up your partner and your partner's not building up you, like who's going to, right? You guys need to build each other up. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And if you are then pouring into somebody else, like Gary is doing to Anna, or was, I don't know what their current status is. It's been so long and I don't give a fuck. The point is, he made Jordan a casualty of his awful fucking behavior, and maybe keeping Anna just to keep him as fluff to like feel good, like just she could build him up. If you are doing that and pouring into something that is not your relationship, and you're not pouring into a relationship, there's a serious problem. Now, this is where it gets kind of messy, where we talk about the different friendships and whatnot, you know, and girls having guy friends, because, you know, perhaps you can pour into your relationship and then also still be a good friend to somebody else. There are so many circumstances I can think of where if somebody was truly for you, if they were truly in your circle of people, then the gender wouldn't matter, because they would want you to flourish. They want you to thrive. They want you to find that happiness. And you could have someone of the opposite gender in your circle who knows they aren't that person for you, but they are your cheerleader. We are rooting for our people. And it doesn't matter if they fucking have a she shed or they're slinging a dick around. Like, we are just rooting for our people to have happiness. We're rooting for them to have success. It shouldn't matter their sexual orientation. It shouldn't matter their gender. And this is where, like I said, it gets so fucking sticky. You have to sort that out yourself. You, your partner, your spouse, your friends, your family, you have to have these healthy relationships on your own, and you are responsible for them. You are responsible for how you treat someone, and you are responsible for bringing that person into your life and how how you take care of them. Actions have consequences, and it is fucking shitty to disregard someone's feelings, someone's value, as if they don't have feelings, right? It is so fucking disrespectful to allow someone into your life like Gary did. He had Jordan in his life acting like he was about this, that, and the other thing, and he strung her along even after they broke up and talked again and broke up and talked again. It is so shitty. It's selfish. It's self-centered to then not pour into her when she's pouring into him. It's shitty to pour into something else, a different relationship, a different friendship. It is fucking shitty to not value her enough. He didn't treat her as if she was an 8-cow wife. He fumbled the fucking bag. We all know that. But in life, you don't choose your parents, right? You don't choose your siblings, but you choose your spouse. You choose your partner. You choose your best friends, whatever. You choose your fucking partner. So that partner and their opinions and their feelings should reign supreme. I feel like the Iron Chef with that. Like, they should reign supreme, though. And really, I want you to think about this. Like, as we close up this episode, I want you to think about how you treat your partner or how you want your partner to treat you. And I want you to think about your actions in the past with other partners, perhaps, and how you've treated them. I want you to think, do you value them? Do you treat them like they are an 8-cow spouse? Really, really sit with this for a moment, okay? Because, I mean, like they were way quick to unfriend me because I said the uncomfy things. I said, this is not okay. You know, Anna was like, did you let Jordan be on your episode? Yeah. Yes, I did. She's hilarious and she's a girl's girl. Of course I let Jordan be on my episode. She's funny, she's entertaining, and there is absolutely no reason I shouldn't be her friend. We became friends because we had Gary as a mutual friend, and I'm fucking thankful to him for that. Bro, you can fumble the bag, but I am not going to mistreat this friend. And I don't have to apologize to Anna for being friends with her. I most certainly don't have to apologize, sweetheart, for having her on my show. I did it once, I'll do it again. Like, listen, eat your heart out. You're the one who treated this person like they were expendable. And people are not expendable. I think, especially with it being Suicide Prevention Month, it's one of those things, I want you to stay. I want you to get through the hard times and be here. And man, when you are treated by other people this way, it can be super, super difficult to not feel like you're expendable. Anna and Gary did her real fucking dirty. And that's just one scenario. That's one story. I've had so many people contact me with other stories. And so I want you to think about it. Do you treat your spouse this way? Have you been treated or misvalued this way? And what could you do differently? Thank you all for listening. This has been a great episode of Sweet and Savage. You know where to find me.